Seattle, known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild Lumen Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4, and it was the visiting Seahawks who were victorious in that one. So they now look for the sweep here back home in Seattle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke into the secondary past the 40. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And, yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Here comes Johnson on the return. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Lance. Man open, that's Ray McCloud. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. These two teams, they met up in Seattle earlier in the year with the Seahawks coming away victorious. So a win here in Seattle, tough as that may be, would give them the season sweep. Lance throwing complete here to Sermon, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
from the gun, Sermon. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On play action, Lance. And he'll find McLeod on the right side complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. On first down, Lance. He'll leave that underneath to Sermon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Well, Brandon, obviously no panic in them. They gave up the touchdown. You know, their defensive side did that. But he's already taken them back downfield. I love this field general that they've got. It's almost like he went to the defensive captain and said, don't worry about it. We've got you. Now they got first and goal.
Yeah, we're seeing punch, counter punch, and this could be setting the table for quite the game.
I like that. Let's go ahead and put it in the boxing ring, right? You're going to get hit sometimes. Can you respond and hit back? And they're trying to do exactly that.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
On third down.
Get out of here.
I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. And they'll go for it. Lance. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Trey Sermon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners, if they can convert the extra point, they'll grab the lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top. And the Niners get there and bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. Another try after the first down sack. Lock. Open man, that's Noah Fant. The 30, the 20, 10, 5, and all the way. Touchdown, Seattle. I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield.
Yeah, normally when you talk about tight ends, you immediately begin talking about them rumbling down the field. But to me, he was pretty well gliding downfield there. Very athletic for a big man, and he takes this one all the way to pay dirt.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that'll make this a 6-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now here's Johnson. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And the Seahawks are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now on 2nd and 13. Lock. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, and it's 4th down. Myers' kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that is incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
On 2nd down, it's Mitchell. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got the hook up to McLeod. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
They give the Sermon out of the gun. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Johnson now returning. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Off of play action, here's Lance. Flush to his, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Lance now on 1st down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
After the turnover, here's Locke. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
On third down, it's Carson, and he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. On the return, Johnson. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Able to get there and pick it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Lance. Buying time to his left. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays, because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam. Especially
against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
On 2nd down now, it's Mitchell. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A big play that time on the catch and run.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go along, and hope someone would come free.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Elijah Mitchell His 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. They'll try and throw for it. Forced out, and now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Flushed out right. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll run on first down. Mitchell. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And Lance now to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On first down, Mitchell. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And the Niners are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Elijah Mitchell with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the 49ers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Gould able to tack on the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Oh, able to avoid him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. They run it with Carson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Now to the air. Locke. This is the tight end fan. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 34-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. From the gun, it's Locke. He's got his tight end fan. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. I'm assuming they're keeping this football on the ground, right?
I would think so because you're looking at the clock. That's in your favor. You're looking at the geography of the field, right? Where you are, that's in your favor as well. Keep it on the ground. Keep pounding. Run that clock down. You got everything working in your direction.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson with touchdown number 7 on the year. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And his these guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down. Now a play fake. Lance.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Again, they'll throw it with Lance.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
This is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 21. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
You know, can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big